It's time for my mock draft 3.0. Following the NBA Combine that wrapped up this past week, I wanted to take a look at the 30 picks in the first round, where these prospects on my board end up matching up with team fit. I've done 2 mock drafts prior following the season. This is my third. We'll have a couple more prior to the real thing on June 25th. And boy, am I just fired up for the NBA draft. I've been talking all about it in the Chat Sports office, just gushing about some of these prospects. If you're with me, if you're excited for the NBA draft, spam those me's down below. I want to see who the real ones are. So let's jump right into my mock draft 3.0. No surprise here. Flagg goes to the Dallas Mavericks with the number 1 pick. No really reason to talk about the selection, just a dominant wing that is going to make a day 1 impact for the Dallas Mavericks. Moving on to number 2, Dylan Harper. I know some people maybe speculate that we could see the Spurs, who are a unconventional team drafting-wise, go non-consensus. I believe they do go consensus with Harper, the clear-cut second best player in this class on my board. Now, I've differentiated here with the 3rd pick, and I'm going to continue to do so. I know a lot of people project Ace Bailey here to the Sixers. I prefer VJ Edgecombe. I think he fits better. I think he will be a better pro. He is a day 1 disruptor defensively, and with that burst of athleticism and vertical ability, he can be an excellent 2-guard to pair next to Tyrese Maxey. Have Jared McCain be your 6th man. Still got some other pieces there. See what happens what they do with Paul George or not. But either way, I prefer VJ Edgecombe's fit on the Sixers much more than Ace Bailey's. But I do have Bailey still going 4 here to the Charlotte Hornets. Now, I think the Hornets are probably hoping and praying VJ falls to them so they can have both LaMelo Ball, and Brandon Miller get sandwiched with Edgecombe, but they go Bailey here, create a wing pairing in Bailey and Miller. A difficult shot maker and taker finds a home in Charlotte. And then with the 5th pick, I'm going to go with Trey Johnson, the guard from Texas to the Jazz. I think they could go in so many different ways here. How do they view Walker Kessler? Do they go with a Malawach? Do they go with a proven connecting piece in Con Kneppel? Do they take a point guard in Jeremiah Fears? I think they actually really like a blend of Keontae George and Isaiah Collier to kind of lead their ball handling and half-court offense, which means they need a true bucket getter in that backcourt to pair with their front court pieces, and that is Trey Johnson, the freshman who averaged 18 points a game for the Longhorns. He can get to his spot at all 3 levels and knock in baskets with ease. The Wizards here with the 6th pick, I've had them with Trey Johnson in the past. I'm going with Kaman Malawach here, and some of you might say, why would the Wizards go with a center? They drafted Alex Sarr last year. Well, if you watch Sarr play, he wants to play a little bit more at the perimeter than on the inside, and he's capable of doing that defensively as well. So in this move, they grab Malawach, put him at center, have Sarr be their 4, and now you have a 4-5 combo of Malawach-Sarr, Coulibaly at the 3, Bub Carrington at the 1, and they got to figure out what they do at the 2 guard. So if Keyshawn George coming off the bench, I think it's an intriguing fit, 7-foot plus center who can just absolutely protect the rim and be a lob threat on the interior. Pelicans here at number 7 go with Con Kneppel, the do-it-all guard/forward from Duke. Big fan of Kneppel's game, just going to be a 10-year pro without a question. Pelicans can go in so many different ways. Like, what do they do with Zion? What do they do with DeJounte Murray, CJ McCollum, Trey Murphy, Herb Jones? Well, if they keep all of them, they probably need someone that can help them kind of contribute now. I think Kneppel, outside of Flagg and Dylan Harper, is probably the most win-now ready player in the top 10, and that's why I think he's a great fit for the Pelicans here at number 7. Make sure you do subscribe because we are still bringing you weekly NBA draft coverage. Plus, when the draft rolls around June 25th and June 26th, we will be live on the channel for both rounds, breaking down every single selection. Yours truly will be here. So hit that sub button. Join me here for the best draft coverage on YouTube. The Nets here at number 8 need a guard, and the best one on the board in my book, Jeremiah Fears from Oklahoma, the true freshman, one of the youngest players in this class, just continuing to rise up. A unbelievable athlete who's got a crazy, wicked first step, can finish inside among crowd, hits a floater, gets to the free throw line, and once he continues to improve that three-point shot, one of the best three-level guards scoring-wise that we have. I love Jeremiah Fears. I think it's an easy selection if you're the Nets and he's still on the board. I'm going to do my first kind of shocker, if you will. I'm going Noah Senge, the forward from France, to the Raptors at 9. Does not feel like a developmental, take the upside of a Senge, 6'10", lengthy wing, very raw, but has a great blend of athleticism, defensive ability, and he's already a smart defender. So if he just is able to bring that offensive along, he can really be a two-way 3-4 at the next level. Better passer than what people believe as well. I think this is an interesting fit for Senge and the Raptors. Number 10, I'm going Nic Clifford, the guard/4 from Colorado State. I'm higher on Clifford than others. There's no doubt about that. I think he's also, like Kneppel, one of the most win-now ready prospects in this class. The Rockets, if they end up keeping this selection, need someone to come off of the bench to complement their young core and be ready to win in the next year or two. I think Clifford can fill a lot of different roles, can be an off-ball movement guy, can be an on-ball secondary creator, good defender, excellent rebounder in traffic as well. Clifford makes a lot of sense for the Rockets, and I don't think they would shy away from taking one of the older prospects in this class. Colin Murray-Boyles is the pick here for the Blazers at 11, the forward from South Carolina. I'm lower on Murray-Boyles than others, but I still think this is an excellent fit because I don't know what they're doing with Jeremy Grant, but if they have Donovan Clingan as their long-term center, they'll need a good piece next to him. Now, you can argue that they don't fit offensively because they both can't really space the floor, but Murray-Boyles, a really good half-court passer. You could run your offense through him almost like a Draymond Green, also one of the most versatile front-court defensive guys in this class. Murray-Boyles fits really well for the Blazers, who probably need a long-term 4 in that front court. Derek Queen. I love Derek Queen. And although his testing at the NBA Combine athletically was literally the worst out of all players and all big men, I'm not shying away from him being a potential star at the next level because when I evaluate Queen, I don't think that athleticism is something that I ever went to and was like, okay, this is why he's good. So when he tested poorly, that didn't shock me. I think Queen is a really talented offensive center who knows how to use his body. And I believe that he's still a little bit more athletic than people realize. I think he's quick in sudden changes inside the paint offensively with his footwork. A team in Chicago needs to find a long-term center to replace Vucevic. I think could find one here with Queen. I like this pairing. Kasparas Jakučionis to the Hawks here at 13. I don't know if I love the fit here, but Jakučionis, who's a top 10 player on my big board, I just couldn't have him slide any further than here to the Hawks at 13. Trae Young, Jakučionis, that backcourt defensively would be horrific, but I think Kasparas has the ability to play off ball and then be that secondary creator, or if they wanted to bring him off the bench and be the lead guard when Trae Young sits down for 15, 16 minutes and then blend the two of them where 5 to 7 minutes a game his rookie season, I could see that being something they do. Jakučionis, I just will believe, has an unbelievable high upside in terms of offensive creation, shooting, playmaking. I really like Jakučionis. Couldn't have him slide any further. Carter Bryant, the forward from Arizona, goes to the Spurs. They already take Dylan Harper here, and then when you look at their roster, what would they need outside of guard and wing help? Well, they need a connecting defensive piece to that front court and back court. Carter Bryant is just an unbelievable defender. NBA-ready frame for a 19-year-old freshman. Not a lot of productivity offensively at Arizona, but one of the best defensive IQ players in this class. I just can't imagine a defensive lineup. You go Stephon Castle, Victor Wembanyama, Carter Bryant. You keep Sohan maybe. Those 4, are you kidding me? How are you scoring on them? I don't know. Since they have 2 picks in the lottery, if they keep them both, take the high upside pick with Bryant here to end the lottery. I'm going to get to the picks outside the lottery here in a second. But make sure you get started with Prize Picks, the daily fantasy sports app and platform I play every single day. Don't miss your last chance to add your favorite players from the court to your Prize Picks lineup, whether it's points, rebounds, assists. Take your pick of more or less for your shot to win up to 2,000 times your cash today. It's available in more than over 30 states. California, Texas, Georgia. It's really easy to use. Create a lineup. All you do is got to pick more or less on a few player stats for your shot to win up to 2,000 times your money. You can combine hockey, basketball, baseball, golf, esports, and much more. You can go season long in football if you already got the itch for that. But if you want to keep it with basketball, I've got a series-long projection for the Knicks-Pacers series that kicks off today. More than Miles Turner points per game, more than Tyrese Halliburton assists per game, and less than Karl-Anthony Towns rebounds per game. 3-player entry there for the series. Get started today. They also have weekly promotions, Taco Tuesday, Flex Friday. Those are absolutely awesome and make it even more fun to play. Download the app today and use code CLNS to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. Run your game. With the 15th pick, first one outside the lottery, Thunder go with Thomas Sorber, the center out of Georgetown, someone that rose up my board after the combine due to his measurements. 7'6" wingspan, 6'10" height. He's quick off the floor, good athlete, and with his ability to just deter shots at the rim, this could be a long-term play for Oklahoma City, who has 2 years left on the Hartenstein deal, likely won't re-sign him or extend him due to Chet's contract coming down the pipeline. Same thing with Jalen Williams if they keep the two of them. Draft Sorber, have him develop in the G League for a year, get him some minutes in Hartenstein's last year of his contract, and then could be the long-term center next to Chet Holmgren. I'm really high on the long-term career of Thomas Sorber. Igor Demen, his slide ends here to the Orlando Magic. I think Demen's a lottery talent. I do, and I think he might go in the lottery. I just have a hard time placing him. Like, where does he go at the end of the lottery? Because I don't think the Rockets need him unless they move off Fred VanVleet. The Blazers have a lot of guards. The Bulls already have an Igor Demen and Josh Giddey. The Hawks, I don't think he fits next to Trae Young, and the Spurs don't need another guard. So I have him coming here to Orlando, the 6'9" playmaking freshman from BYU who's from Russia, just really talented passer. He measured in really well at the combine, and if he's able to improve his shot, he can be a dangerous player in the NBA, and I think the Magic need a guard to pair up with Banchero, with Wagner. The men could be that guy. The Timberwolves. I'm taking Nolan Traore, the guard from France. Mike Conley ending his career. Do they trust Rob Dillingham to be the one of the future? Maybe. If they don't, maybe they try to double down here. The once thought of top 10 lock who had a rough year for St. Quentin overseas. But guess what? He's been playing excellent in his French League playoffs. So maybe that rises him up people's boards. Traore fits well here with the Timberwolves. Cedric Howard, the forward/guard from Washington State to the Wizards at 18. And boy, oh boy, is he rising up NBA draft boards. Came in at 6'5" and a quarter, 7'2" and a quarter wingspan. Yeah, that is real measurements. When you watch his film, Jalen Williams comes to mind. Kawhi Leonard comes to mind. I don't want to compare him to them, but with his blend of ball handling, speed, athleticism, defense, the ability to get to his spots, give his defender a bump, rise, and finish in the mid-range. Boy, there's a lot of talent to like here. Now, you don't know how real that is. Only played 6 games this past season for the Cougars due to a shoulder injury. Played 2 years at Eastern Washington before going to Wazoo. So there's a lot of questions there. But with the Wizards having multiple picks in this first round, Coward here at 18 feels like a no-brain, take the high upside, and maybe you have a wing of the future. My goodness, I would love this pick for Washington here at 18. Coward, I think, is the biggest riser in the NBA draft going back to the NBA Combine over the last week and a half, without a question. Went from might go back to school, might stay in the draft, to I think he's a top 25 lock and staying in the draft. So let me know who your biggest NBA draft riser is. Rasheer Fleming goes to the Brooklyn Nets at 19. I love Fleming. I think he's a top 14, top 15 player in this class. But with other needs at guard for Orlando, Minnesota, I don't know if The need is there for the Thunder at 15, and I think the Washington Wizards would go a little bit more of a higher upside pick at 18 over the high floor of Fleming. But the Nets, who just need talented, good basketball players, you get in this mock draft Jeremiah Fears at 8, so you got your lead point guard. You pair up Fleming in the front court with Cam Johnson and Nick Claxton, and you're starting to build something there on paper. Interesting fit for Brooklyn and Fleming. The Miami Heat desperately need a guard to fit next to Tyler Hero. I have them going with LeBaron Philon from Alabama. Measured in really well at the combine. He just looks like he is a 16-win guy. And what does that mean? It means he can play in the postseason, can play off ball as a catch-and-shoot guard, as a cutter. He can work the pick and roll as a ball handler, feed his roll man. If the defense collapses, he can kick it out. He can finish with a floater. He defends. He gets out in transition. With his height, his ability to score and impact the game in so many different ways, ideal fit next to Tyler Hero. I think this is a really solid selection for the Miami Heat. Might be high on Adu Thiero here, but I'm willing to go down with the ship. The unbelievable athletic wing from Arkansas to the Jazz at 21 already had them taking a really good scoring guard in Trey Johnson. They need to fill out that wing piece to help Lauri Markkanen and Kessler inside. Thiero has questions with his spacing and shooting, but when you watch him, it sometimes looks like the Thompson twins. Now, he also has the same concern offensively in terms of shooting the ball because teams at college level just guarded him with big men and dared him to shoot, but he can attack the rim, he can finish, he's long, he defends. Really like this fit between him and Utah. The Hawks, with a second first-round pick here, could look for a backup center or front court piece to replace Onyeka Okongwu, to back him up. Danny Wolf, someone who has floor spacing ability, but he's good inside, good in the half court, smart basketball player. He would work really well as a short roll man with Trae Young. I can just imagine they blitz Trae, he drops it to the Wolf, and Wolf can either make the decision dribble or quick pass in that short roll at the free throw line to either shoot it, score it, or kick it out. I think it's a home run fit between him and Atlanta. And then that shifts us into the Pacers at 23, who knows what's going to happen with Miles Turner this offseason, but front court depth and insurance for Turner potentially leaving is a must for the Pacers here, in my opinion. They could go with the Joan Behringer from France, but I think Asa Newell is the better pick. Undersized, but he plays bigger than his size. Good rebounder. Started to showcase a little bit of an outside shot as the season went along for Georgia. Good backup to Turner, but also a good replacement if he needs to be. With the Thunder's second pick, I'm going Hugo Gonzalez, someone commonly mocked here. He's kind of a stash and draft guy for OKC, and with 2 picks, if they keep this selection, they don't need an impact guy here, so why not take the high upside long-term play of Gonzalez? 25th pick for the Magic. They already took a guard. They need probably a long-term center with Goga Bitadze, Wendell Carter, and the Wind. How about one of the biggest risers as well, Maxine Reynow, the center from Stanford, who just displayed athleticism, shot blocking, floor spacing ability as well at the combine. One of the biggest risers to where I think he's now a fringe first-round guy after being projected as a middle of the second round type of prospect. Reynow makes a lot of sense for Orlando because he can help space the floor, protect the rim, and is active on the glass. The Nets have 2 straight picks here. Going to go Will Riley and Jace Richardson. I'm not high on Will Riley, and I'm a little bit lower on Jace Richardson as well. Undersized off-ball guard in Richardson. Don't know what you do there. Will Riley, really good length and profile. 6'8" without shoes. Now he has a equal wingspan, so that's not great. Not a plus there. Riley, I don't like his offensive game. Very low on him. I think he's a second-round type of dude, but I could see the Nets with 2 picks here taking the chance on the freshman from Canada. And then Jace Richardson, I believe, is a solid off-ball guard, but he's undersized, but he makes winning plays. Brooklyn might take the shot on him. I'm going a little outside the box here at 28 for Boston. Drake Powell, the guard/forward from North Carolina, measured in really good at the combine. He's 6'6", he's long. He was one of the most impressive players that I've watched at the collegiate level defensively, just as an absolute attack dog. Boston likely going to have a down year this year with no Jason Tatum. We'll see what their roster looks like. Assuming they lose Drew Holiday this offseason and they trade him, Powell could be a solid guard defender off the bench for them. Interesting fit here. Last couple picks here for the draft. I'm going Ben Seraph to the Suns, the guard from Israel, and then Yaxel Lenderborg to the Clippers at 30. Lenderborg could be a solid 4 next to Ivica Zubac, Kawhi Leonard at the 3, create an interesting front court. Lenderborg might go back to college, but I like him. If he gets a first-round guarantee from the Clippers, that he would go there. He can put the ball on the deck. He can rebound. He can score. And quickly on Seraph, the Suns need a true point guard next to Devin Booker. Seraph, a 6'6", lengthy lefty guard, gets to his mid-range spot. He's crafty, runs the pick and roll well. I think that's a solid fit for them as well. All right, I know it's a long video, folks. 30 picks down the drain. Grade my mock draft. A, B, C, D, or F. Couple people fell outside my top 30. Liam McNeely, Walter Clayton. It's the name of the game. I like a lot of these prospects. I like a lot of these fits. One's a little aggressive on some of them. Let me know your thoughts. And make sure you do subscribe to the channel because, like I said, I'm going to continue to bring you NBA coverage every week, specifically on the draft, leading up to June 25th when the first round gets underway. So hit that sub button. Join us right now.